Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast. You're just in time for this particular bulletin. Our reporters have been up and about gathering all news relevant to you, and here are the highlights. KCSE candidates at Silver Bells Academy sit for fake exams, reports indicating that the school was not registered with NEC. Lecturers strike enters day 2 despite Labour and Employment Court terming the strike as unlawful, with stakeholders now calling for talks. I have faith in the judiciary, Gachagua says as he urges Kenyans to hold peace regardless of the anticipated court's decision on Thursday. And President William Ruto pledges to hire 20,000 teachers for grade 9 CBC come next year.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Yvonne Kemuma.
And the sign language interpretation is Lucy Kiari. Engage with us on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Kemuma_Monari on YouTube. We are streaming live at KUTV News Kenya. As Kenya's KCSE candidates concluded their exams, controversy surfaced at Silver Bells Academy in Uasin Gishu County as 23 unregistered students reportedly sat for fake exams unknown to them. The future of these students now hinges on NEC and the Ministry of Education for guidance since the school was unregistered.
As the 1,313,913 Kenya Primary School Education Assessment KCSE candidates wrapped up their exams with creative arts and social studies, the fate of 23 candidates at Silver Bells Academy in Kemuma, Uasin Gishu County now hangs in the balance after reports indicated that they sat for fake KCSE exams. According to Moiben Deputy County Commissioner Dan Kanokwach, the school was not registered with the Kenya National Examination Council (NEC), and the students were not registered for the official exams. The school head teacher and directors have been administering fake photocopied exams to students, falsely claiming they are from NEC. The alarm was raised by a parent who reported discrepancies within the school on Tuesday evening, noting that the pupils were delayed in taking the exams and the exam papers looked different. The school's head teacher and directors have thereafter been arrested for administering these fake exams. The fate of the affected candidates, however, remains unknown, with the Kwach saying that they are banking on NEC and the Ministry of Education for the way forward. The assessment is designed to monitor students' progress throughout primary school as they prepare to transition to junior secondary school. The assessment is also to account for 20% of experience in the students' final evaluation at the end of grade 9 before the learners proceed to senior high school for 3 years. Anyango Sylvia, KUTV.
Now, disrupted lessons and empty classes is now what paints the picture of the majority of public universities in the country as a result of the ongoing lecturers' strike. KCSE University lecturers on Wednesday joined their colleagues in calling for a salary increase of between 7% to 10% as stipulated in the 2022-2025 CBA.
Disrupted lessons and empty classes is now what paints the picture of a majority of public universities in the country as a result of the ongoing lecturers' strike. KCSE University lecturers on Wednesday joined their colleagues in calling for a salary increase of between 7% to 10% as stipulated in their 2022-2025 CBA. The lecturers now claim that the government has been reluctant in fulfilling crucial matters, especially regarding student education, and thus calling for adherence to the terms of the collective bargaining agreement, CBA. This comes just weeks after a similar strike was called off when the workers' union agreed to negotiate with the government.
So the problem is that they start negotiating CBAs late, and because of that, the demand that we quote for them becomes a lot.
Are not going back to class. We have been taken for granted for too long. This time round, we must have our issues sorted, and sorted immediately. We cannot believe and deal with a government that is a deceitful government.
Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos Ogamba on Wednesday, while appearing before Senate plenary, invited lecturers to the negotiation table, stating that the cause of their strike is difference of 5 billion shillings.
That 7% and 10% increment had to be financed. You have to do the actual calculation to come up with a figure that supports the 7% and the 10% increment vis-a-vis the number of years that we have to do that. But when that simulation was done, the figure that the government has against the figure that was differs by almost 5 billion. So that is the discussion that we are having to find out what is that challenge.
Lecturers have urged students to continue with personal study while remaining hopeful that their demands will be met after negotiations with the government. Ochieng Cynthia, for KUTV News.
Ousted Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has urged Kenyans to uphold the peace regardless of any decision made by the court regarding his removal from office. A panel of 3 judges is expected to issue a significant ruling on whether to block the swearing-in of Kithure Kindiki as the DP or not. Dennis Munyi has more.
As Kenyans eagerly await for the court ruling tomorrow on whether to extend conservatory orders barring the swearing-in of Kithure Kindiki as Deputy President, the impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has expressed confidence in the judiciary to deliver a fair verdict. Gachagua stated that he has no doubts about the judiciary and will accept the outcome.
We have faith that our judiciary will protect and uphold the Constitution of Kenya and will exercise fairness and give justice to Rigathi Gachagua and his supporters. That is our prayer.
Gachagua further called upon all Kenyans to maintain peace during this critical time and to keep him in their prayers. Speaking with optimism, he emphasized that the nation's future lies in the hands of its people, urging them to prioritize peace and unity, especially for those in the Mount Kenya region, whom he promised greater unity in the future.
But I want to ask for peace, more so to my people of the Mount Kenya region. Please remain peaceful. Love one another. Stay well with all other regions and communities. They have not wronged us. They are our friends. Kenya is bigger than all of us. And we don't have another Kenya. We only have one Kenya. And I want to say, irrespective of what will happen, the outcome of the court process, let our people remain peaceful and build our country.
Gachagua stated that his removal from office was due to his efforts to combat illicit alcohol, fight for the rights of Mount Kenya people, opposing the demolition of people's properties, and his defense for the traders at Marigiti Market. He claimed that his love for the people of Mount Kenya had become a thorn in the side of certain influential individuals.
A time will come for us to speak. Na mutikamake mukiri owo kuri okawudo jowe newo mukireke.
Gachagua explained that the people of Mount Kenya have learned a big lesson from this incident, and come 2027, he hinted at the possibility of forming their own political party for the sake of having a firm stance and a solid political force to unite them.
Unajua kuna watu walikuwa wanasema na huyu Rigathi Gachagua hana wafuasi Mlima Kenya, mbona watu watoki kwa barabara, hawakishi moto, hapigi kelele. Hiyo si tabia yetu. Sisi si watu ya kwenda barabara. Sisi si watu ya kuhakisha tairi, sisi watu ya kupiga kelele. Sisi tukiona tunanyama. Iko siku tunafanyanga vile natakika.
Dennis Munyi, KUTV.
Now, Victor Koth Ouma, a 25-year-old suspect in the murder of Wells Fargo HR manager Willis Ayeko, who was arrested at Dandora in Nairobi, will be detained at the Railways Police Station in Kisumu for 21 days to allow police to complete investigations. This is after the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, through State Counsel Eva Soita, made a miscellaneous application to hold him. The Directorate of Criminal Investigation seeks to gather evidence and locate accomplices, with Ouma having a pending robbery case. The court ordered Airtel Kenya to provide call logs related to Ouma's cell phone for forensic analysis. The next court mention is set for November 21st this year. While we are due for our first break here on KUTV's News at 9, continue engaging with us on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Kemuma_Monari. Give us your feedback. Also find this live stream on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya. I am right here for your sake. Now, today we are going to talk about the beginning of a fall. But not just a fall, it is a fall never to recover. If you spend your time sleeping, na tumesema while you are drunk, your senses are sleeping. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. How are you doing today? I'm well in the Lord. I hope you are well in the Lord. First of all, I'd like to thank our Father in heaven. They say broken things can't be fixed, right? But that's a lie. Genesis chapter 3 verses 8. That evening they heard the Lord God walking in the garden, and they hid from him among the trees. But the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whomever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Catch me right here only on KUTV every single Sunday.
Katika maisha yetu ya leo, wakulima na jamii nyingi kwa ujumla wanakumbatia teknolojia mbalimbali na kilimo hai ili kuondoa magonjwa sugu na kuongeza usalama na utoshelevu wa chakula. Mbolea asili imepunguza asidi kwenye udongo na kuongeza mavuno chungu nzima. Wajua tuko shambani, na humu shambani pia kuna ng'ombe, kuna kuku, na wanaacha uchafu wao. Na huo uchafu si wa kutupwa, ni wa kutumika katika kilimo kama mbolea. Kwa sababu mimea hii imekuwa kutumia mbolea ya hawa wanyama. Wakulima mbalimbali wamekumbatia teknolojia ili kuokoa gharama ya ukulima na kutumia nafasi zilizopo katika mashamba yao.
Tunachimba hadi mizizi kukuletea yanayojiri.
So mimi naomba tu serikali yetu ya Mungu, jibarikiwe na Mungu, iweze kuteremsha bei ya mafuta.
Yanayokukumba tuna maizi, tuna kutetea sisiri. Kwa kweli ni speciali tukikupambia makala ya mwanamke mwake. Utasema hupendi mizizi ya habari. Nami Caroline.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Yvonne Kemuma.
On the sign language interpretation is Lucy Kiaria. Will continue with the broadcast. Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migom has announced plans by his ministry to come up with an additional 16,000 classrooms set to be completed by December 15th in preparation for the new admission of over 1 million grade 9 learners come next year. CS Ogamba was speaking while appearing before Senate plenary on Wednesday.
Appearing before the Senate plenary to answer on education matters, the Cabinet Secretary for Education Julius Ogamba guaranteed the completion of 16,000 grade 9 classrooms by 15th of December this year, to be accomplished through a co-funding with the CDF, the Ministry of Education and the World Bank, summing up to a total of 19 billion Kenyan shillings.
We have done 3,500, 7,500, and the other 6,000 are in various stages of completion. We've calculated that we are going to have all these classrooms completed by the 15th of December.
Ogamba stated that the Teachers Service Commission, through a multi-agency approach, has trained a total of 60,642 JSS teachers in both public and private schools to handle the grade 8 students, stating that the teachers will therefore undergo a retooling program in preparation for the grade 9 students, further promising school materials for them come next year.
We have already started transporting the materials to schools, and we've indicated that once KCSE is done, we've asked the head teachers to remain in school as they receive these textbooks that we also intend to complete by the 15th of December.
The education boss additionally revealed that the TSC has commenced a process of transitioning the 46,000 intern teachers to permanent and pensionable terms, an exercise set to be complete by December this year, and confirmation done in January 2025, with the ministry currently undertaking an analysis of collecting data of a physical census for all schools.
Last year, we did an actual physical census of all the schools that we have in the country and all the students that we have, and we completed that exercise about 2 weeks ago. Currently, we are undertaking an analysis of that data that was collected to ensure that this question that keeps recurring about ghost schools, about ghost students, is put to rest.
Grade 8 students are therefore looking forward to joining grade 9 come next year, with the expectation of having new classrooms and new school materials to ease their learning period throughout the year. Emma Mwangi, KUTV.
Now, still on matters CBC transition, President William Ruto has pledged to hire 20,000 teachers come January next year to support the grade 9 competence-based curriculum CBC program, ensuring a smooth transition for students. Speaking in State House while hosting the Asian community for the Diwali celebrations, Ruto further applauded the Hindu community for their significant contributions to Kenya's economy.
In a colorful event hosted by President William Ruto in State House, hundreds of the Asian community in Kenya came together to celebrate one of their most important holiday of the year, Diwali. During the celebrations, President William Ruto acknowledged the contribution of the Hindu community in commerce and business across the country, characterized by growing business that have helped to create employment to many.
Enormous contribution to the commerce, the business, the economy of our country. You also embody philanthropy. We have seen your service in lifting up those in our society who are not the vulnerable in our society.
As a result, the head of state announced the government's considerations to make Diwali a public holiday by next year.
And I have heard from Bimal your request on the issue of having Diwali as a national holiday. I will undertake to subject it to the process of government. The Speaker is here. If it has to happen, it has to go all the way to Parliament. But I want to assure you that we will have made a decision by the next Diwali.
Today, As we light our lamps, we affirm our shared wish for peace, prosperity, and unity in our beloved Kenya. Let our prayers and intentions turn towards a vision for Kenya where harmony prevails.
President William Ruto further announced the hiring of 20,000 new intern teachers in January for the CBC Grade 9 students to facilitate a smooth transition.
We must feed ourselves, we must educate our children, and we must make sure that there is adequate, available, accessible, affordable healthcare for our citizens. Those three fundamental things are important to us as a government.
The new funding model also took center stage during the Diwali celebrations, with President Ruto announcing again emphasizing on the model's design on that he maintains will help university and TVET students pay their school fees easily, with additional support for vulnerable students to ensure affordability.
It is the reason why we developed a new funding model, because our children are that important. A student-centered funding model to help fund our children in our TVETs and in our universities, and to make sure that children from vulnerable families get equitable treatment.
Diwali, also known as the Festival of Lights, officially begins on Friday, November 1st and continues through Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. Diana Nashipai, KUTV.
The Law Society of Kenya, through the Legal Awareness Week 2024, is targeting to educate the public on legal matters pertaining to combating fake lawyers, educating the public, and provide free legal aid to those in need. This year's week is running under the theme Laws for the People, by the People, empowering citizens' participation.
The Legal Awareness Week 2024 that was launched by the Law Society of Kenya, themed Laws for the People, by the People, empowering citizens' participation, is designed to offer free legal aid to the public, enhancing legal literacy on matters that impact citizens' daily lives. LSK Thika branch launched a campaign specifically aimed at combating the growing problem of fake lawyers, with the branch's secretary Patrick Kungu emphasizing the need for the public to recognize legitimate legal professionals, as many fake lawyers entice clients with low fees only to exploit them later.
Masqueraders do, they'll charge very minimal fees. They'll undercut, and that will attract the members of public. So as a way of fighting that, at having such a week whereby we are not charging for consultation, we'll be able to talk to our members of public, we'll be able to advise them what the law says about the issues that they have, and also what to look out for to know whether an advocate is really an advocate, or the person that they think is an advocate or a masquerader.
Jane Wanjiko, Kiambu County representative for the LSK, encouraged residents to make use of this week legal services available at court centers across Kiambu.
What we are doing is creating awareness with working together with the business community, so they can be able to give this information to the people in the ground, and also working with the administration, for example, the chiefs and the police officers. We also have media coverage like yourselves, so that we can be able to reach as many people as possible, so that people can come in every court in our jurisdiction to get legal services.
Senior Chief Magistrate Stella Atambo emphasized on the importance of public awareness, noting that the expanding digital court services reduces fraud and corruption, protecting Kenyans from exploitation.
Mahakama imebadilika. Kwanza kabisa, hakuna cash yoyote inalipwa kotini. Kila kitu kwa sasa inapitia kwa benki, kwa mtandao, na unapewa receipt kwa kila payment umefanya, ama kila malipo kuna receipt. Sasa hapa kotini tulikuwa na mabroka wengi zaidi sana, na index yetu ya corruption ilikuwa juu, kwa sababu hawa mabroka walikuwa wana take advantage ya huyu mwananchi wa kawaida ambaye haelewi systems za koti.
During this Legal Awareness Week, Kenyans are encouraged to visit courts countrywide, where they'll be able to speak to legal experts and learn more about their rights. Brenda Nyongesa, KUTV.
Now we will take another short break, and then I'll be back with the sports news. Don't go anywhere.
questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Now, the Kenya Association of Technical Training Institute KUTV National Season 3 ball games are currently ongoing at the Siaya National Polytechnic. The event, which kicked off yesterday with the top 2 institutions from the regional competitions taking part, includes hockey, volleyball, rugby and handball games scheduled to conclude on the 2nd of November 2024. The third leg of the Athletics Kenya Cross Country Series heads to Iten this Saturday, with anticipations high for the intense competition in Kenya's high-altitude enclave dubbed the City of Champions. This year's edition is set to attract top-tier athletes from the North Rift region, further cementing Iten's legacy as a global training ground, with athletics converging in droves. AK Marketing Director Abraham Mutai has urged all participants to register early and collect bibs on Thursday and Friday, as AK rolls out a new digital registration on database to streamline athletics onboarding. Well, many thanks for being with us. We will call it a night here on KUTV's News at 9. On behalf of the entire team behind this particular production, thank you for being with us. Enjoy the rest of your viewing. Until next time, same place.